important thing to do is come up with a nonsense humour scenario for John to segue us out of to introduce the podcast with. Isn't that right?
This is going so well. Hello, welcome to Geeks and Gaijins.
I'm the Geek Tom.
I'm the Gaijin John. He's the Geek Tom. There's also someone else here. Ah!
I'm the guest, Jardo. Is all this staying in? Is this now the intro?
Who knows?
Well, you nailed that timing.
Yay! Yes, welcome. We are the Japan podcast that has Japan-related shenanigans and culture. And at this point, just lots of food.
Huzzah, it's exactly what we always wanted.
Yeah, and our special guest is back. You might remember him from...
The last episode, yeah.
How many episodes?
It would have been
was
like
that?
6 episodes ago.
Yeah. I think it was a bit more, actually. Oh, God. We've been doing this too long, Thomas.
Some would argue even past the first episode was too long, John, so let's not worry about it.
Thomas, you've got to let the internet commenters, they have to create the bile. You can't just say you want it. You can't do it yourself.
Well, currently we have an absence of internet commenters, so I have to fulfill the role for them.
You just deliver it to your door.
The full package.
Oh, no. Well, on today's podcast, we have 3 main things to talk about. Jardo, as our special guest, has a special topic to talk about. Ooh. Magic. Number 2, we have the ultimate food showdown. And number 3, we have Kimetsu no Yaiba and tax evasion. It's a perfect harmony.
It's our 2 favourite topics on this podcast.
This whole conversation has gone right down the toilet.
Not the toilet.
Which type of toilet, though?
This, you see, listeners, is the native segue. Might not have noticed it, but Jardo's story is about Japanese toilets.
It is. I have a Japanese toilet story to share with everyone.
I didn't realise the story would be actually about Japanese toilets. Why did we invite this? I did not realise.
I did prerequisite this with Jonathan that this is a safe, clean.
Got to keep it clean.
Okay, if you insist.
Japanese people are very clean people, therefore clean toilets.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad to hear that.
So let me set the scene. I'm at work, and my work is a very typical like Japanese high school. If you've seen an anime with a high school, it looks like that. I showed some of my students a picture of what high school looks like in Australia, and they couldn't believe it because it's like wide instead of tall, and there's so much grass and stuff everywhere. Like it covers like an area, if you know what I mean, rather than 2 3-story buildings duct taped together. At the high school, there's a set of 3 toilets that teachers can use, and they're like the ones I will always use because there's 0 chance of a student showing up or anything. There's a male and a female staff toilet, and these are like what you would imagine a Japanese toilet would be like. It's a hole in the ground with ceramic trim. It's a hole in the ground that's heard what a toilet. It's heard of the term toilet.
So this is what, for those who are not in the know, is generally called a squat toilet, which is very popular in Asia, not just Japan, where basically you literally squat over it. It is a hole in the floor, as it were.
You squat and you pray you have good aim.
Pretty much.
It's apparently also quite good. I promise not to go too into all of this story. It's good for your health, apparently. So your choices are either the squat toilet and there's also a set aside like accessible toilet. Now my school actually has no students that would require a toilet like that, so that's the one that I would use just out of convenience, basically. And this is your typical, the room is very wide and large, and it has a Western style toilet in there. And I would use that one if it's not already occupied.
No,
Sorry?
even if it is. Out.
Teacher's privilege.
This is my Gaijin pass. I need to use the Western toilet immediately.
Why did I qualify that? That's a good point.
It's important information to understand. Just keep yourself clear.
So it would have been like last Monday or so. I used the toilet, and the toilet paper fell off its container and it rolled across the floor. And these toilets are cleaned every day by like a student, and a teacher supervises them cleaning it, and they actually do quite a good job. It's like school pride Japanese thing. So the toilet paper rolled off the holder and then rolled onto the floor. So I picked it up and then fixed the thing and put it back, and then went about the rest of my day.
Oh,
And,
All right, so far so good.
and Monday is like hell day for me as a teacher. I have my most periods on that day. Like I'm busy like 80% of the day with students running around everywhere.
Oh,
So-
nice.
this is the point I say I have one class on a Monday. I
I
have
hate you. I hate you.
I have one 45-minute class on the Monday. My Fridays are hell though. My Fridays are the opposite.
Mm.
I can't literally sit down on a Friday. It's not fun.
So I finished all my classes, and I'm sitting down and having a drink of coffee and like getting all my stuff ready for the club activities.
Mhm.
And a teacher comes up to me, and this is one of the sports teachers, which I think it creates an image for you, John.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
the sports teacher. He's wearing like a polo shirt, and he doesn't speak a word of English at all. But he's
Yeah.
he's super excited about everything. He's
Yeah.
so happy to be there. And this is like 10 minutes before my club activity, and he stops by and he says, Jardo, ちょっといいですか? Can I talk to you for a moment? Of course, only in Japanese.
Yeah.
Okay, this hasn't happened in a long time. What happened?
Uh-oh.
And he explains, do you know the toilet down the hall, down there, the accessible one? He's doing it in Japanese, so I'm getting the gist of what he's talking about. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I do.
Mhm.
Why do you ask? Do you use that toilet? Yes, I do. And then he sees like my skepticism and he explains, oh, I'm the teacher that's in charge of cleaning that toilet.
Oh, okay.
And I have had a mystery for the last 6 hours. It's been plaguing me. There's been a mystery. And my head is spinning. I'm like, did I clog it? Did I flush something I wasn't supposed to?
I also love the character you have given this man through his translation. Of the fact I know exactly, he has said probably about 5 words, and you've kind of implied all of this from that.
So at this moment, I'm having the I'm doing a Danganronpa minigame in my head, trying to put everything together.
Specifically the surfing one.
I'm doing the Danganronpa V3 Crazy Taxi.
Oh no, we've not got to that one yet.
You got that to look forward to.
Always.
So he sees my confusion and he goes, "Oh, so you've solved my mystery."
Mm-hmm.
I solved the mystery by what I've said so far. Okay, what did I do? I just blurt out, "What did I do? What happened?" And he says, "You put the toilet paper on incorrectly."
Oh no! How dare you!
And he said it with like authority, like. And he said I was prime suspect number 1 because he thought this must be how people do it in Australia. Apparently, I talked to my girlfriend about this as well. She's Japanese. She said this is like a set thing that you hang up the toilet paper with like over. I'm doing a gesture over, hanging down.
Yeah.
The toilet paper rolls over.
Yeah.
So like the one you pull will be facing towards you.
Yeah.
Whereas this is probably the most Australian answer ever. Literally, I have the toilet paper roll and I put it in whichever face is looking at me at the time. I pay no further attention to it than that.
No, I respect that. That's exactly how it should be.
Whereas I think you should burn in hell.
Apparently, this is the thing.
It's a very chaotic evil, like let the dice fall however they are. And this blew his mind. He's like, he couldn't even believe that there are other ways people could do this.
You opened a whole new world of possibilities to him today.
And then my club activity students came in and they were like, can we go?
Yeah.
So the conversation was cut short. And then on Tuesdays I go to a different school. On Wednesday I came back and I noticed the toilet paper is still like that. Like it's the heathen way, it's under instead of over. I wonder if this sports teacher's like trying to be accommodating to me. It's like actually kind of sweet.
We will have a social exchange, cultural exchange.
Exactly. And I told this story to my girlfriend, which is what inspired me to tell the story to the podcast. And her first reaction was like, "Oh yeah, you do that. You do just randomly put the toilet paper whichever way you choose." I hate that.
You've not been paying attention to the culture you're surrounding yourself in, Jardo. You're being very rude right now with your toilet paper position. How dare you?
I'm aware you touched on it there, Jonathan, with your opinion that that you hate me for it. I'm aware that this is like a heated argument that families have. Like, it's come to my awareness that people do care about this. I
don't actually care, but no. It's the thing is, if you do it like the underway, you can't do the nice thing when you have a roll. You can like fold it so it looks kind of cute, and that I like. You do like a little pointy bit, and it's like.
And Japanese people do love that. It's true.
I just love that because I think it's cute. But yeah,
I have told this story a few times since, and one of my friends says she does the under as well, but that's only because she lives with like 3 cats, and the cats will like attack.
That I have heard of. That I have.
That makes a lot of sense.
And one of my other friends popped this in the chat. I just sent a picture. It's the official 1891 patent for the guy that invented toilet paper. This is the nuclear weapon of this argument of how you decide which is correct. Figure 1 or figure 2.
Yeah, it's a set way, Jardo. It's the Australians. I will say there was some jokes in my 3rd year English class the other day because we were talking about Australia. We were talking about Melbourne because it's in the textbook, and one of the listening exercises was, we have the oldest zoo in Australia, and old things, the UK and Japan, things get quite a bit older compared to Australia and the US.
We don't have a rich history. Yeah.
No, well, you do. It's just not white.
It's just short. And very sad, actually. Like really, really, really sad.
Yeah.
How bad?
Oh dear. But there are trams. There are trams, apparently. I learned there are trams in Melbourne.
That's the only city in Australia that has trams. Yeah, that's like the tourist thing to do. I've never been to Melbourne.
It's the place to be then.
I'm just glad you're not pronouncing it like an American and saying Melbourne.
Yeah, I specifically told my students about this. Do not call it Melbourne.
That's a good way to like piss off an Australian to catch his hands.
Well, it's also like America. It's teaching the pronunciation of Edinburgh compared to Edinburgh.
It's tough too. I've had this dilemma a few times because for the most part, Japanese students learning English learn American English.
Yeah,
they write color without a U. And I was doing a lesson once, and I was teaching can and can't to my first years. I says, I can go swimming. I can't go swimming. And I had a room of like 30 or so 15-year-old kids looking at me like, what are you talking about? Even more so than usual. Because they say can't like an American does. So they can't say can't.
Can't.
I can't do that. So I have to train myself to also say can't.
Nope, I just say my accent is horrible and everything adds R's, which is even more difficult for Japanese people. So it's just like, hello, I'm going to go walk on the grass and at the castle, and then we will park somewhere. And it's just, I'm sure it's like, though one of my teachers did come up to me the other day and go, you sound more American. I'm like, I'm sorry?
What did you
God,
say
the
to me?
insults are just flying today.
They didn't mean it as an insult, but
But it's hard not to take personally as an Englishman.
yeah, I was just like, cool, all right, sure. I do have some more things on Japanese toilets if Thomas would like to know about them, and our people
Boy,
at
do I
home.
want to know more about Japanese toilets. Hit me up, fam.
Because mainly, you've got your Japan is also famous for the squat toilets, but also the fancy toilets.
They go one way or the other. Japan never plays it halvesies. They just go all in on everything.
They are called washuretto, which is the Japanese English for washlet. Yeah, which is apparently a brand that came to Japan. Yes, these are the bidets that are very popular that you can wash your bum with, that apparently 81% of Japanese households have.
Oh, very fancy.
I have a story about this actually. I also have a watch. Yeah.
Do you have hands-on experience with the washlets?
Washuretto.
Do we have
no
a
comment.
review on our hands?
No comment. So my dad came to visit. My dad is like a powerfully Australian man. Like, I think the Australian skipped a generation because he has like the thick accent and he loves cricket and football and barbecue. Yeah. Whereas I have a passing affection for those things.
You are also just describing someone from the north of England as well.
That's
cricket, football, barbecue.
Oh, but I mean like Australian football, not soccer.
To be fair, it's hard to have anything more than a passing fancy for barbecue in the north of England because you get 1 week of summer in which you're allowed to barbecue and that's it. So,
but that's the thing. He goes. That's when you get intensely barbecue.
You do. You have to fit all your barbecue into that 1 week slot.
So my dad came to visit. He's come to visit twice. This would happen in Osaka. So I went down to Osaka to meet him, and we stayed in a hotel together. And he went off to have a shower. And about 5 minutes later, I heard Jared from the shower room. I was like, oh God, what's happened? What has happened? Jared, I keep pressing this shower button, but it's just making the toilet do something. So the bidets, the button that makes the bidet happen, it says shower, or in Japanese, shower. So he's pressing the button next to the toilet, thinking that will start the water coming from the shower. And this floor is soaked because he's pressed this button like 5 times. He just pressed this button like 5 times. It's just sprayed into the bottom of the closed toilet and then just come out the sides. So I was like, oh, I can't leave you alone.
I like the idea that he pushed it once, nothing happened, and it's like, I wonder what that was. Pushed it again, and then just kept pushing it as the floor beneath it got progressively wetter. It's going, I wonder what's going on.
So like I came in and he was like, Jared, he gave me an example. He said, I press the shower button and this happens. And he presses the button and like a jet of water gets flushed into the bottom of the toilet. So it's not quiet. It's like into the bottom of the toilet. So he did that like 5 times. Can't take him anywhere.
The only things that I don't want to go back to is the fact that Japanese toilets with these bidets also have heated seats. That sounds awful to those who have not experienced it. It is wonderful.
I fully understand. Having never actually experienced a proper heated seat, I can tell you I hate cold toilet seats because it's not comfortable. So I can see where the appeal is in that.
I can show you the world of heated toilets.
Truly, it is a magical land you live in.
Yeah, but also you get to learn your kanji as well because the different like flushes on it are the ones for small and big. So literally, it's like, how much water you need? We need big.
Big water.
Oh no, only small water. Only small water this time. Shh. Oh dear.
Fun.
Well, speaking of the big and small and the fight between all those, we have the ultimate snack break. The snack break, which is more of a meal break, well, it is 3 meals break.
We're all out this week.
Yeah. So I decided on this topic before I had my health check this week, and therefore realized I'm extremely overweight and I need to go sign up for a gym, which I did today. So I feel a bit better about
Get to reward yourself with lots of food now. That's how that works.
doing this section. So for those who don't know, Japan loves convenience stores. Convenience stores are great. They have 3 main ones, and generally you can do whatever you want in these convenience stores. They have everything. They are cafes. You can pay your taxes. You can pay your bills. You can pick up Amazon deliveries. They are everything.
A convenience store there. That's pretty good.
Pretty much. The thing is, there are 3 companies of these. They're the big 3. My Hero Academia references not accepting. So you have the big one that everyone will have heard of is 7-Eleven because it is also in the US. And the other 2 are Lawson and Family Mart. Family Mart being the number 2 and Lawson being number 3. Now, something about those names sound suspiciously not Japanese, especially Lawson. All the katakana in it does actually spell Rawson.
Close enough.
Yeah, my katakana skills are bad. This is because Lawson was started in Ohio in 1939.
Huh.
Yeah, it was originally... So Lawson is very famous. It has blue imagery. It's very famous for like a milk jug
The milk
image.
Jug, yeah.
Yeah, and that is because it was originally Mr. Lawson's milk store in Ohio.
Man, that's a
interesting.
legacy.
Yep, and it is now the 3rd biggest Japanese convenience store company. And they're just everywhere. They are in all Japanese prefectures. The other one, Family Mart, is an original Japanese. It's only in Japan. Well, it started in Japan. Lawson, I think now is only in Japan, and the big one also is 7-Eleven, which apparently started in Dallas, and it is still headquartered there, from a man trying to sell his eggs.
Wow. I wonder what the origin of 7-Eleven's name is.
I would have assumed it was on the times they were originally opened for, but I don't really know.
Yes, apparently.
Hey!
Yes, you win. From 1946, it was changed to 7-Eleven to reflect the store's new hours of operation from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m., which were unprecedented at the time, in brackets.
Oh, how the times change.
Yeah, so we don't even have 7-Eleven in the UK. And they are generally quite well regarded for their their lunch bit. And one of the big things you have for lunch is onigiri, a rice ball, or as Brock would say, a delicious jelly donut.
We can't have the youngins getting any culture.
Yeah, no, you can't learn about Japan. Onigiri, rice balls must be jelly donuts. So I thought I would set out with a plan. What I'm going to do is we're going to find out which is the best convenience store once and for all, because literally within a 5-minute walking distance of my apartment are all 3 of these convenience stores in different directions. But I literally went from one to the other to the other. Took me less than half an hour. Yeah.
Tour de Combini.
Indeed. It was amazing. There was so much variety. Well, yes. So I was going to get the default meal. So I was going to get an onigiri, tuna mayo, preferably, because that is to me the default onigiri. It's the one there's always most of, that always sells, and then also get something sweet. So my favorite, a melon pan, which I think we've talked about before on the podcast. It is just a sweet roll with usually like cookie dough cooked over it. It's like a twice baked sweet roll. And so I thought you can always find these in every Japanese convenience store. So I thought we would compare. So always look on the Gaijin John Instagram, which has our picture of the stash that I have right now. Now, I went to Lawson. I will do this chronologically. I went to Lawson first and was immediately disappointed due to the fact they had no onigiri.
No onigiri whatsoever.
Yeah, this was not. I was not there at a weird time either. I was there at about 1 p.m. in the afternoon, so like decent lunchtime. No onigiri.
I don't think that's ever happened to me before. No onigiri at a convenience store. That's their whole job.
Yeah, exactly. I was, to be frank, shocked. I was shocked. They had melon pan, so we were all right with that. And I thought, I need to get something. Even if the other two have onigiri, I need to get something. So I got a karaage. No, it's not karaage. It's like a tonkatsu burger.
Ooh.
It is like a curry pan burger bun. The burger bun has been breaded with breaded pork within the thing. Because I was just imagining I am a random gaijin going, I need lunch quickly. Grab. So yeah, so this is what I got for that. And we also have the melon pan as well, which looks standard melon pan, crisscross pattern. Note to everyone at home, they do not taste of melon, just the cookie dough. Yeah. Some of them are flavored with melon, but these ones, they have a crisscross, so they look like cut up melon. But this one has also the smoked butter, which is the very popular addition to them, basically. The default one with smoked butter in it. I did the math for this. So, and this wonderful Lawson package was 261 yen. Ooh. So, next I went to 7-Eleven, which is the big one. It's one by the local station. So this one had all the onigiri. Everything was stacked. And though I do feel slightly biased because it was a station store, it was the train station one. So it's kind of like it's its job to be full throughout the day. And so that I managed to succeed in getting my tuna onigiri and also my melon pan with fermented butter. Ooh. And it looks
I didn't realize there were so many ways of handling butter. I'm opening my eyes to a whole new world of possibilities today.
What could it be? The other bonus with 7-Eleven is also they have it written in English on the items, which Lawson does not. So this is just a Gaijin bonus. And then finally I went to Family Mart and they had onigiri, but not the tuna mayo onigiri. They had the shrimp mayo onigiri. Sorry, the 7-Eleven was much cheaper. It came to 242 yen because I know you're all riveted at home. And then the Family Mart one, it is a much sadder, just default melon pan. There is no mention of fermented butter on this one, but it's still looking okay. And a shrimp and mayonnaise onigiri. So this is the rice ball, for those who don't know, that you wrap, that have some kind of filling that are then wrapped in seaweed. So yes, before we start, Jardo, do you have any strong opinions on your allegiance to one of these big three?
For convenience store in general, I'm going to say ride or die Family Mart. Because they have Family Chiki, which is the best.
Yeah, their fried chicken is really, really good.
It's also like the store of convenience is closest to where I work, basically. So I just go there by default.
Yeah, it is. It is kind of just which one's the closest? That one's the best.
It's closest from my work and also where I live. Yeah. So they cornered the market on my lunch. melon pan, I'm going to go with 7-Eleven as well. It's difficult to quantify. It's like it's got a more crunchy texture and more richer flavor. So, yeah, I don't really like Family Mart's melon pan. It's too like big, full of air, too fluffy.
Yeah, the melon pan from Family Mart does look the saddest, I will say. The other ones look like quite like nice. That one it looks a bit puffy. Looks a bit puffy and sad.
Have you ever had like a real melon pan? I suppose like freshly baked from a baker melon pan.
I've not had freshly baked. I've had one that they baked that day from my local supermarket. So those ones are good. They're really good. I've not had like fresh baked, and now I want that so badly, and but I have 3 of them next to me, so I can't go out and get another one, Jardo. I just can't.
It's true. I can't sabotage your diet anymore.
Yes, this diet that is going to be started with a breaded burger of pork.
When I went to Nara, which is like a prefecture about south of us, kind of east, southwest
Southeast.
of us.
It's near Kyoto.
I went to Nara once, and I went to it was like a bakery, but it's a roadside bakery, and they only make melon pan. It's the only thing that. Oh my
god! Sounds like heaven.
I went there at like 7 a.m. I remember I woke up specifically to go right when they open, right when they have like their fresh batch, and they had a melon pan. It was smaller than the ones that you get from a convenience store, but it had like a printing of a deer on it because Nara is full of deers, and it was so delicious. It was also like really cold in the morning, so it like filled me.
And with that, I have got this tonkatsu burger. It is just a burger. I thought it was some kind of special bun. It's not. It's just a bun that they've covered with like breading that you'd usually put on a piece of chicken. It's very strange and not needed. But here's a tonkatsu burger because no onigiri, so many minus points. But anyway, itadakimasu. Not bad. It's like cold tonkatsu, so it's all right. Like it does have flavor. The burger bun's kind of bad and sad, but what can I say? Lawson is not doing great at the moment, I will say, in these ranks. Like even the replacement for the onigiri. But let's hope the melon pan can savor this. Looks good. It's big and circular. This feels like it kind of a tap. What do they have? The bread tap at the bottom? Nope. That sounds too squishy to me. Paul Hollywood tap. So that's here we go. So the top is good. The top is sugary. It's good, but it's the top is a bit squishy, and so is the middle. I feel like I'm getting what Jardo warned me of the Family Mart one is happening true for the Lawson one as well.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I find with them like generally you don't want a giant one because I will get sick of melon pan if it's just gigantic.
But no, so Lawson, pretty sad, I'm afraid.
Oh no.
They were selling at the same time though some fried chicken, which I will say was delicious.
El Chicky.
Yeah, their chicky was good because it was going to be a while till I got to the Fammy chicky and I was hungry. Okay, so now we have the proper tuna mayo onigiri.
Like, while you're doing this run, were you also eating El Chicky and Nana Chicky and Fammy Chicky as well?
No, I didn't compare all the chickies. That would feel bad.
That's next week's podcast.
So, no. So I will say these onigiri are quite fun because you pull them out and then you follow the instructions and you have like a wonderfully wrapped rice ball.
Ooh.
So I'll try and do the anime girl from the top.
That was pretty anime.
Thank you.
6 on the anime scale.
It's good onigiri. This is the classic 7-Eleven tuna mayo. Not much to complain. The rice is good. I've had it in the fridge, so it's cold, like you would have it. Like the nori's good. Tuna mayo filling is good. Like, not too fishy. What can I do? It's good. It's good onigiri. Brent, it's good onigiri.
And that one was completely wrapped in seaweed. It wasn't just like a white triangle with a little black square at the bottom. It was like fully contained.
Yeah, they mostly have that for the ones that you buy at lunch because I assume you're going to be holding it. Okay, so this is the melon pan, and this is visually the most impressive melon pan.
Ooh, it's got so much texture.
It's a sizable melon pan.
Yeah, no, like they're about the same size. This is it compared to the Lawson.
Someone's eaten half of the Lawson one.
Shinzo Abe!
God damn it.
Getting at my melon pan. Get your own. It's definitely true what about you said before. It's chewier. It's got it's chewier, better flavor. Has like sprinkled sugar on top as well. It's like there's even more. 7-Eleven is coming out king here. What do I say?
What type of butter was that again?
Fermented butter.
Fermented butter. See, that makes all the difference, apparently.
I thought that was on the Lawson one as well, but this one is also covered in sugar.
Well, that does help.
And then, finally, we have the Family Mart shrimp and mayo onigiri. Note to people at home, I have not eaten yet, so this is my dinner.
Would not recommend.
No, I do not recommend eating 2 onigiri, a tonkatsu burger, and then 3 melon pan all at once. No, I'm not going to do that. But shush, podcast magic. Anyway, here we are. Here's the shrimp mayo. Itadakimasu.
Nice crunch.
I will say this is the crunch is pretty great on it. The rice is pretty great. And the mayo is also, this is top tier onigiri. I'm saying it right now.
Firing on all cylinders today.
The rice is good. The nori's slightly better than the 7-Eleven one. I think the rice is slightly better as well. No, this is objectively and subjectively better.
All right, well.
So Family Mart win the onigiri stakes. Can it win? Can the Fammy Bakery pull it out? Can the Fammy Bakery pull it out with the Fammy Melon Pan?
Is this the one running at a deficit because it just has regular butter?
Well, there is no mention of extra. There's no mention of extra butter.
The butter is completely out of the question.
This one actually smells better than the other ones.
Doesn't have much of a melon shape to it, though. It's very flat.
Minus points in presentation.
It looks like someone photocopied a melon pan.
Yeah, but I will say what's best on this one is the biscuit coating on the outside. It's actually like crunchy, whereas on the last one they've been a bit soft. This one, like, you've still got the squishy inside. So the thing is, if you put the top of this one onto the 7-Eleven one, you'd win.
Madness.
Yeah, that would be. Can I do that? No, it falls apart.
That's the saddest image you've ever made me imagine. Just all night, just like chipping off parts of the melon pan to stitch onto another one.
One day we shall make the greatest melon pan, but 'tis not today.
John abandons his calling as a podcaster and instead becomes a baker.
Don't try me. I will. This is difficult. So Lawson's third. Sorry, Lawson. Sorry for everyone who loves Lawson.
Lawson took the L.
All the way from Ohio. It's not doing it for me. That's the thing. Family Mart wins the onigiri, and I do love Family Mart. But I think I might have to give it to 7-Eleven. Just because it's a better meal together. It works. It works better. I know there is no way to say this, but I'm a random British man judging convenience store foods against each other. And this is another food review. No.
Sounds like the war is brewing. 7-Eleven versus Family Mart. The sides have been taken. Lines
Family
have been
Mart,
drawn. In the sand.
do some corporate espionage. Get their melon pan bread. Put your biscuit on top of it. Boom! Ultimate winner.
I'm excited to see the approved by John sticker on the
It's coming. That's how you get the Gaijin buy. You go,
The Gaijin, if you will.
I will say, 7-Eleven one was cheaper. 7-Eleven one was a good 20 yen cheaper. I think that's what clinches it for me. It really
that
does.
makes all the difference. That does. That little
I mean,
extra.
if you're buying it every day, it's just, and it's also got that. It's the English on the packaging. So for your Gaijin in a rush, you can go, oh, I know what that is. So I will say Family Mart does have English on the onigiri packaging. It just doesn't have it on the melon pan one.
Disappointing. So close. We're on the edge of greatness.
Why are we here? Just to suffer. No, wrong meme.
Quit your edginess.
Quickly, because those sections took up so much time. Yeah. This is what 3 people does to this podcast.
hey, don't blame Jardo for this. This is just us.
I'm blaming myself. I'm the third wheel here.
Fair enough.
Now, there is food. There is adorable food, but now there is... Do you know a place that you can get food, Thomas?
I'm sure there's an abundance of different service providers that will allow you to get food. Which one do you want specifically, John?
I am specifically talking about some cafes owned by the anime studio Ufotable or Ufotable.
Oh, that was going to be my second guess.
See, so close. So, for those who don't know, which I didn't know before this week, was that anime production studios in Japan also own cafes.
Who'd have thunk?
Yeah, like they own multiple ones. Ufotable own them in both Korea and Japan. However, they've been in the news for not so good reasons. They are the makers of Kimetsu no Yaiba, and other...
Lots of the Fate series.
Other animes are available.
But this is 2020 Japan, therefore it's Kimetsu no Yaiba.
Yeah.
If you say another one, you will be slapped and it will be replaced with Kimetsu no Yaiba.
We all know that the only 3 anime that exist in the Geeks and Gaijin podcast are Demon Slayer, My Hero Academia, and Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. Any other anime don't exist, so
exactly
it meets the requirements.
The president of, I'm going to call it Ufotable, though it might be something different, Hikaru Kondo, has been charged again with tax evasion.
Again?
Yes.
Because he was charged in 2019. I'm trying to find the original article. Yeah, May 2019.
Oh my god. He owed 400 million in taxes and was suspected of misappropriating funds from a charity auction for the 2011 Tohoku earthquake.
Yep.
Is that
so
I'm reading?
It's still going. So the company, this is specifically this one, that it's suspected of hiding 446 million yen in income, and that's about $4 million, $4.4 million. And evading 110 million yen in corporate taxes and 29 million in consumption taxes. And those are over 3 years by just manipulating the books at 4 cafes run in Tokyo and Osaka.
That's a lot of money for some cafes.
Yes, even more so, cafe sales in Tokyo were put in a safe at Kondo's home. He is believed to have asked his wife, who's put in charge of accounting, to exclude some 100 million to 200 million yen a year from the books.
His wife? Oh my god.
And to which, so this is in March last year, 300 million yen were found in cash in a safe in his home. This dude had $3 million in cash just
lying
sitting
around
in his home.
What the hell?
This man is probably a multi-millionaire, and he just has 3 mil of it sitting in his house.
That's just insane.
Yeah, and on top of this, he looks hilarious.
He does not look like a multimillionaire president.
No, he is 50 years old, Hikaru Kondo, and for those who don't know, this is obviously a podcast. I cannot paint a picture with words. However, all I can say is for those who aren't going to Google image this man, he looks like the king of the Japanese neckbeards. He looks like you found someone in a queue at any anime convention ever and pulled him out of it. He has like weird shoulder length kind of hair with a chin strap.
It's so bad. The chin strap is so bad.
Yeah. He's the kind of guy who, when he wears a suit, looks like he should not be wearing a suit. Like, and this is a multi-millionaire who owns an anime production company. He apparently did start the company as well, so there's kind of reasons for that. But this is just so weird to what I think of Japan as like, like this is not like Hideo Kojima, like cool biz, like Snaz, who when he does wear a suit looks like he's your cool uncle. This just reminds me of like some of the people I knew in sixth form who just like had to wear a suit for school and did not want to.
Hey, stop calling me out.
Though so much so, his tax evasion has become so legendary in the anime community that there is actually a man who cosplayed as him.
He doesn't have the chin strap though.
I know he doesn't have the chin strap. I feel that that's key, but just oh my!
It does really bring the whole together. Is that messy, just bush of beard on the tip of his chin? But
bush.
You've done something significant if a guy is cosplaying as you.
That significant thing is tax evasion, Thomas.
Breaking the law to the absolute extremes. Even though the actual studio has also been brought in on charges, they have apparently cooperated with the police force and are working closely to comply with all the laws and regulations now that the evasion has been discovered. So hopefully they're not going to get too shafted for their management. Because it'd be a shame if all the animators who had nothing to do with this got stuck.
And Kondo was supposedly using the unpaid tax money to fund the company's business. Yes, I'm sure that's what was happening.
Allegedly. Yes.
I will say his lawyers have apologized to fans and the people involved on his behalf and asserted that Kondo already filed a correct tax return and he has paid the appropriate amount. Sure.
Well, we'll see.
Indeed. You can find some great articles on this from Japan Today, the Japan Times, and Anime News Network. But just, oh boyo. What a boy. What a tax evading. Yeah.
It's like kind of an inspirational story. Like we've ripped on this guy's looks a lot, but the way like yours it's a really apt description, John, where he says he looks like a guy just pulled out of an anime convention. Like, and it could be you. You could be the next tax evading.
You, random citizen, become a career criminal yourself for the small price of founding an anime studio.
Well, it seems he started the production studio at the age of 30, so I've still got a couple of years. Still got some years. Get that started.
Get that chin strap.
Oh God, not the. It's just it looks so bad.
This probably shouldn't be the thing we get caught on.
He's married. Like he has someone who should tell him to stop.
I mean,
in all sorts of things.
He's got mostly tax evasion.
I mean, he's got 30 million yen sitting in a safe in his home. Of course, he's married.
300 million yen, Thomas, not 30 million yen.
300 million.
Yeah.
Don't do crime, kids.
Yeah. Or do, because you get a lot of money out of it. No, don't do crime. Don't do crime. Or just sorry. Get so rich that your crime does not matter. Damn, no, that's not good. That's not a good message to end the podcast on. Make anime Yeah, make anime.
That is a line to end on. Screaming make anime.
So we've been the Geeks and Gaijin podcast with our lovely guest Jardo. Thank you so much for coming and being on and sharing stories with us.
It was fun. I hope to be back kind of sooner than last
Yay.
time.
Yeah, defo. Yeah, it is getting insanely hot in Japan at the moment, so I just want to stay inside all the time. You can find us on Twitch. We stream every Tuesday and Saturday. We're streaming Danganronpa 2 at the moment. We've just finished Case 2. Redacted has been killed, and it was very sad. We miss Redacted so much. Our VODs are all on the Twitch channel. Thomas has released some amazing things on the YouTube. An entire video essay, first of 3 parts.
I will be having a 3-part series coming out every Friday for the next few weeks. Give it a listen if you're interested.
That's news to me.
It's a visual media.
It is indeed. The video is key to the video essay. It is about how shonen anime has a strange situation at the moment where it knows how to write women with superpowers but doesn't know what to do with them. So they just sort of sit on the sidelines, not contributing to the main plot most of the time, which is really weird and doesn't make an awful lot of sense from a narrative perspective. So I'm just like, what is going on here? Why is this a thing?
Intrepid reporter Thomas goes and dives into the facts in anime, so you don't have to. Of course, we are always on Spotify, Facebook, Twitter. You can iTunes, give us a review, smash your head on keyboards, do all that stuff. Jardo, is there anywhere we can find you on the internet if you want to be found? Not if you don't want to be found. That would be a bit scary.
Yep, I'm still just on Facebook on Jardo Shame Quarantine, but
Yay.
not updating it because I'm lazy.
Well, that I will say the name has become slightly more topical at the moment.
Exactly. Exactly it has. Have I told the story of that name? I started the page just so that I could use it to follow other anime pages so that I wouldn't be following it on my actual Facebook.
Smart,
so it's
smart.
Quarantine of my shame. So it's my shame quarantine.
Indeed. Well, it's now for all of you at home to share in the shame as you're listening to this podcast. Bye, guys. See you next week.
Bye.
See you around.